Hey guys, the Bad. I'm back with another comic book haul. I went out searching, comic book hunting as usual, and I went to my old stomping grounds and picked up some books, and went to another place that I frequent and got some great books. Let's start with this one, Eternals. This is the Neil Gaiman Eternals. At one time, it was supposed to be connected to the movie, so this book kind of jumped. But I think that has been disavowed. I don't know for sure. But I saw it, and it was for $3. I picked it up. A lot of these She-Hulks I've been going back after, especially if they're John Byrne covers or Dale Keown covers. I try to get them. And this one is the first appearance, I guess, of the Jessica Walters turning into the Grey Hulk. And I figured I'd pick that up. Also, it's a newsstand. Let me see the date on this book. My vision is so terrible now. Yep, newsstand. Star Wars Canon or Kanan. This book is jumping. Almost every issue now everybody's after. So I picked up issue number 8. And I picked up issue number 9. Both of these I got for cover price at one of my other comic book shops. Now going back to the ones that I had picked up at the original shop for $3. Picked up another copy of Robin 127. Stephanie Brown, Robin. I picked up Secret Wars number 9. It's a nice book to look out for with the hype of Miles Morales, the popularity of Miles Morales. This is his first appearance in our universe, the 616 Marvel Universe. I keep saying our universe like I'm a part of the 616 universe. But you get my drift, okay? He's his first appearance in 616 universe. Because of his kindness to Miracle Man. He gave Miracle Man a hamburger. He kind of looked out for his well-being. And that was the first time somebody ever did anything nice for him. So Miracle Man, when he remade the universes or rebrung back the universe, he took Miles from the recently deceased Ultimate Universe and brung him into the 616 universe. Teen Titans number 20. This book was hot for a while, for a couple years back. Not so much now. I think it still holds a little value, but I saw a copy of it and I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. Found another copy of Pacific Presents The Rocketeer, issue number 1, first appearance of The Rocketeer, art by Dave Stevens. And this one, I couldn't believe I got this for $3. Daredevil, The Man Without Fear, Frank Miller. Issue number 184. Now, I was at my main local comic book shop, and I saw this book on the shelves, and I didn't pick it up. And for some strange reason, this book has gotten hot. But then again, anything with Strange Academy, because everybody's hyping, and this might be the next Harry Potter series as far as on a big screen, which may or may not be true. I don't know. But I went to one of my other local comic shops because when I went back to get it, it was gone. And then on YouTube channels, different channels, this book is like gaining steam, and it's people are buying it. It's the third printing of Strange Academy number 1. So I figured I took a gamble. I said it's probably going to be at my other comic book shop because they don't have the heavy traffic and they're good at ordering a lot of books. I have 2 shops that do that. They order a lot of the variants and they order a good amount of books when they do get it. Now that Spawn variant, Cowboy Slinger Spawn, you can forget it. That book, I don't know what happened with that book, but a lot of shops didn't get all what they were supposed to get. And my main shop, he said he only ordered enough for those who had asked for it ahead of time. So I went in there and I picked up Strange Academy. I found 2 copies of Strange Academy 1. And I found 2 copies of, well, like I said, Strange Academy 1 third printing. Thor number 2, another book that's getting hot. And this is the 4th printing of issue number 2 of Thor. So I picked up 2 copies of that. And as I was walking around, I like looking around in the store, and they're not really known at this store for having a lot of back issues. I mean, they have some, but what they have, they're not. You're not going to find any real valuable books in there. They're like more run fillers and things like that. But by chance, he had picked up a collection from somebody. They had sold their books, and he had about 10 or 11 long boxes, and they were like $3. The books were $3 a piece, or if you bought in bulk, they gave you you can negotiate a price. So I was just haphazardly thinking about going through it, because I really wasn't in the mood for comic book hunting. I was just going to try to find these and going home. So I went through the first box and I found some books, and I was like, okay, well, now I'm hooked. So I went through all the boxes picking out books, and he gave me a great price for them, which ended up making each book roughly, for me, a dollar, around $1.50 per book. Picked up, and these are the books: Uncanny X-Men 277, a great Jim Lee cover of Gambit and Wolverine. I love this book back in the day. Batman and Judge Dredd, Judgment on Gotham. Great Simon Beasley art. I never had this, so I figured I'd get it. These are Elseworld books, and I collect Elseworld books. Robin 3000 Book 1 and Robin 3000 Book 2. Wildcats X-Men. I got another copy of that, issue number 1, the Jim Lee cover. Wildcats X-Men, the Silver Age, number 1, with Grifter on the front cover. Now, Grifter is supposedly going to be a mainstay in the Batman comics pretty soon. And if that happens and he catches on well, Grifter might be a real good investment. You know, trying to find all the old grifters that are not in DC continuity. Also picked up Wildcats X-Men, The Modern Age, number 1, with Adam Hughes cover. And I was like, wow. I got all these. I picked them up, the ones I could. The Marvel Milestone editions. These go for a little bit of money. And they're hard to get in mint condition because the cover is actually almost like the paper that is used on the inside. And because it's got that gray silver look to it, it's easy to get dinged up and get spine ticks. I see one tick there and a little one there. But they're nice to have because they're part of history. You're reprinting the giant keys of Marvel. And that's when it's X-Men number 1, the first time the X-Men were made. Then I got giant size X-Men number 1, the Milestone edition. Picked that one up. I think I got some more. They're all mixed in this run. Because I got these books all kinds of ways, so bear with me. Batman Elseworlds, Dark Allegiances by Howard Chaykin. Early Beta Ray Bill for Thor 350th issue. Like I said, I love those anniversary issues. And it's a newsstand. Punisher Euro Hit, issue number 1 of 7 of issue number 64. This is the European, first appearance, I guess, of the European Punisher. Silver Sable. There's a lot of grumblings about Silver Sable, so I picked up another number 1 of that. Star Wars, Rogue Squadron, The Rebel Opposition, issue number 1. Star Wars is off the chain, especially all the Dark Horse issues. You get those Dark Horse issues. I'm telling you, I'm not a I don't have great knowledge of the Star Wars universe. I don't really know too much other than like the main characters. But when you start getting into all the other characters, I am basically completely lost. I'm trying to learn the Star Wars lore a little bit more, and I'm trying to find the key books. But I mean, for me, it's like a whole new world, and I'm just feeling my way through it. So if I see a good Dark Horse Star Wars book, I normally just pick it up because they're cheap. You know, a lot of places haven't caught on about Star Wars yet. So if I see them, I get them. Moral Tales. These are all reprints of the early Amazing Spider-Man issues by Ditko. This is 152 with the Green Goblin. 153 with Kraven the Hunter. There's rumblings about Kraven coming to the big screen. Predator and Aliens now seem to be kind of like a hot topic because of they're being acquired by Disney. So all the books now are kind of being looked at. This is an obscure one. Tarzan versus Predator. It's a newsstand issue number 1. It's drawn by Lee Weeks, one of my favorite Batman artists, and also Walter Simonson. Predator, The Bloody Sands of Time, issue number 1. I'll pick that up. Simpsons Comics and Stories, issue number 1. It's still in its poly bag. These I picked up just because. Ninjak, number 1. I picked up 2 more copies of that. It's not the rare version. The rare version, if you look up here where Ninjak is, you can actually see through it to the following page. And if you ever come across those are rare. But you have to know what you're looking for, because you can easily miss it, because you have to really look at that cover to see if you see the print and all that on the inside. Immaculate copy of Star Wars Droids. I have a copy of this, but this copy is beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Found 2 more of these. American Entertainment Dark Horse Zero Star Wars. Found a bunch of Gen 13 J. Scott Campbell's. But this one is not a J. Scott Campbell. This is the other gentleman. I can't pronounce his name. It's the A.L. and his Rio or Rio. I'm not sure. And I don't want to butcher it. But apparently these 2 gentlemen, him and Campbell, must have went to the same art school or had the same art teacher, or one taught the other, or which way or whichever way. But their art is so similar, you know, it's hard to tell them apart. And only way I can tell them apart is that this gentleman lines are a lot thicker than J. Scott Campbell, and his art has a more, I don't know, his characters are more realistic, has a more realistic appeal than J. Scott Campbell. Campbell's women have a I don't know, a thinness to them, and they have where their faces have this like Joker smile type of look to them, where his faces are more softer, and their bodies are more thicker, a little thicker than what Campbell would do. Here's more here's J. Scott Campbell. If you compare, well, that's not a good one. But this is Gen 13 C and Gen 13 13B, and this is Gen 13 number 12. That's a really nice Campbell cover. Ghost special issue, Adam Hughes cover. Dark Horse presents number 55 with Sin City and John Burns and X-Men. This is Impulse number 1, and when I got it, I didn't look over on this side of it where there's like rust going up, where I guess it must have been against something, but got another copy of Cliffhanger's Wizard Zero with J. Scott Campbell, Mad, and I don't know this character over here. But this book normally goes for $10 to $15. Definitely pick this up. This book seems to be generating a little bit of heat. Predator versus Magnus Robot Fighter from Valiant, issue number 1. So I picked up two copies of that. Aliens versus Predator number 1. That was in that box, one of the boxes. Moon Knight number 24. Beautiful, beautiful Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Found Wonder Woman number 90. It's another hot book. This book is like a staple in the in the dollar bins. Also, that Superman now this Action Comics Jim Lee with Bloodsport on the cover. That book has been in the dollar bins. I mean, you could get a whole short box of those at one time. All those Action Comics, all those Jim Lee Action Comics are very cheap, and I've always said that the Jim Lee run of Superman and Action Comics, or Superman, were one of the best runs that was done, and gets no love whatsoever. Now it's starting to get a little love. But getting back to this book here is always in dollar bins, and it's the first appearance, I think, of the Man Who Becomes Vengeance. Here's another book that pops up all the time, Wolverine number 88. First time Deadpool and Wolverine meet. Fantastic Four. This book was hot for a minute. Issue number 352. And it's still up in the air because of what's supposed to be happening with the Loki and the Time Variant Police, or whatever they call themselves. They make their first appearance in the Fantastic Four. And I got issue number 353. I think that's the gentleman down here, one of the heads of the Time Variant Police. This book, a lot of people don't know about this book. Special edition X-Men number 1. This is a $20 book. This book reprints Giant Size X-Men 1, and also has a new story by Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum in the back of it. I pick up these Silver Age classics whenever I see them, and does showcase first appearance of Green Lantern. There we go. Here's some more of those Marvel Milestone Edition. First appearance of Sabretooth and Iron Fist number 14. First Incredible Hulk, issue number 1. First Fantastic Four. Got another Elseworlds book, Superman Speeding Bullets, where Superman became Batman. Well, where Clark landed in Gotham. Ended up being adopted by the Waynes, and he became Batman. Another Jen Campbell Gen 13, issue number 24. Wizard Half, Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron. Black Panther, issue number 1, Panther's Prey. And side note, you know, all prayers to the family of Chadwick Boseman. a phenomenal actor. And after hearing how he did all these movies while he was in stage 3 cancer, stage 4 colon cancer, how he had the energy for that, I don't understand. And you could tell he pulled what power or energy he had from his gut, and he just rolled with it. And that to me is a mark of a real, true superhero. And I tried to watch Black Panther last night. I couldn't do it. Just looking at his face, you know, really messed me up. And I'm still kind of feeling it now. You know, same thing with Comic Jabroni. You know, I wasn't really a friend of his to a point where I communicated with him that much, but I did communicate with him a couple times when he bought some comics from me, because he was also, everybody knows him from his Turtles, and you know, he really pushed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but he also was a fan of DC Universe logos like I was, and he bought a few of my extra copies when I had a little sale a couple years back. And very kind gentleman. You could tell by his channel that he was authentic. He was an authentic person, and what you saw was him. And you know, all prayers to his family. You know, that's hard. You know, especially when you say goodbye to somebody and they don't come back. You know, it 2020 has been an interesting and very rough year. And I pray that 2021 and years come get a lot better than this. But I really, really, really fear what's going on with our nation, how we're becoming more divided. And people are just going off the chain, you know, and they're using other people or other things as scapegoats for their malignant behavior, you know. And the truth is, man, we need to stop acting like we're savages, for real. We're better than that. We're Americans, you know. And not saying it as a put down to other nations, but man, we as a nation have the best of the best in this world. And to act the way we act, you know, to carry on the way we carry on, the disrespect for each and every one is a shame. It's a shame. We're better than that. You know, this mess that's going on now is just plain freaking ridiculous. You know, it's just sad. But I just digress. Man, this video is going on too long. I only got a few comic books left to go, but that's my rant, or whatever you want to call it. Getting back to a lighter subject, Camelot 3000, Brian Boland's masterpiece. Back when this book came out, I was living on the Eastern Shore. There was no comic book shops on the Eastern Shore. The closest comic book shop was in Baltimore, and actually it was Steve Geppe's comic book shop before he became Diamond. Geppe had a comic book shop down at the Inner Harbor, which was like the big thing back in the day, the Inner Harbor. Everybody would come around. When they came to Baltimore, the Inner Harbor was it, and it still is. But Geppe had a comic book shop there, and by chance our school took a trip to Baltimore to an art museum and to the Inner Harbor. And of course, I had to go to Geppe's. My first time going to a comic book shop. I was a young whippersnapper back then. And I picked up a copy of this. By then, this book was like maybe 2 or 3 years old. But I was glad to have it. Always stuck in my mind, Brian Boland's Camelot 3000, because it was a direct only edition, you know, which means you only could get it in a comic book shop. And it just brings back a lot of memories of my preteen, teen years. Found another copy of this book. This book is cheap, but Zatanna is becoming more and more popular, and they're not through with her yet. Plus, she has connections to Batman. So, I mean, it's a no-win situation with Zatanna. Return of the New Gods, I found. Whoop, gotta take this down. Return of the New Gods. Oh, what a day. Return of the New Gods. Keep on, it'll be the last Return of the New Gods. Issue number 18. Pick that up. These are kind of hard to find. And issue number 19. Pick this one up because I love the cover. Legends of the DC Universe, issue number 4, with Wonder Woman. Looks like a Steve Rude cover. I could be wrong. I picked this up for giggles. Warlock and Infinity Watch from Journo. So I saw one. I said, what the heck? I got like 2 or 3 copies of it. We get another one. Issue number 1. Conan the Barbarian, the Jim Lee cover with Conan versus Red Sonja. Issue number 242. This one, I love the cover, but it's so dark. But it's a great cover of Venom hanging upside down, holding Ghost Rider's head in his chain. But it's Spirits of Vengeance. It's been crossed out saying Spirits of Venom, issue number 6. Never seen this book before, but I had to grab it. Doctor Strange. This brings back good memories too. This is when Paul M. Smith or whatever, he took over drawing, and he had initially been the artist for X-Men after I think Cockrum left. When Cockrum came back after Byrne left, and when he was on X-Men, it was like a total shock to my system because it's an art style that's totally different than anybody else. It's I call him like a minimalist. You know, he only uses as much lines to tell the story as possible, and I was hooked. I mean, I wasn't too much hooked on his X-Men run. I did buy it because just like with Amazing Spider-Man, it's just, for me, it's a natural book that I'll get and put in my collection, at that time. But this Doctor Strange, Paul M. Smith, his art was just so, I don't know, it was so minimal, but it was beautiful. I mean, his lines conveyed exactly what he wanted to say. And it was one book in particular where Doctor Strange had met up with this young gentleman. And this young gentleman didn't even know that he was like, what's the word for it? But he was like, over like in Tibet where they have their leader. I can't think of the name of it. But he was like, he just lived his life day by day. And he was like telling Doctor Strange that no matter what, in the course of his day, he was always taken care of. If he wanted to go in the store, buy a cup of coffee, and they would tell him, well, the coffee costs $1. You know, he would just reach in his pocket and pull it out, and there was $1. He said, you know, he never really put any thought into it, but every time he needed something, it was there. He didn't know he had magical abilities. And I don't know why that issue is stuck in my head, but it was just a cool book. But this is Doctor Strange number 68 with, of course, the Black Knight and his ebony blade. Yeah, I love that book, that run. Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. Okay, now this book is the first appearance of the Cat. Cat was a character. Actually, I got him in this the last book on the show. Excuse me, issue number 39. That's Cat. Cat, pound for pound, is equal to Shang-Chi as far as fighting. You know, Cat was cool. I remember back in the day when these books came out, and Cat had a swagger about it, man. You know, Shang-Chi had a swagger, but because the artist at that time that really made it for me with this book was Paul Gulacy. And I'll say it again and again. Paul Gulacy hit his stride with Master of Kung Fu as far as I'm concerned. His art told a story. It was like panel by panel, but it was like cinematic, you know. If Shang-Chi was going to kick you, it showed how he kicked you, his thought pattern towards kicking you or whatever. I mean, it just was, as a kid, it was amazing. Even as an adult, when I flipped through the book again, I was like, man, it instantly took me back to when I was reading these books. And, man, it was the greatest time. You know, it was a world I could just escape to, where my heroes were heroes. Now, it's, I don't know. You know, it's not the same. It's okay. It's not the same. Hopefully they get back to it. But these books, man, my childhood books, nothing can touch them. Nothing. You know, nothing before it, nothing after it. Books from my childhood, special to me. And this run and a couple other books, Mike Grell's Legion Superheroes, I can go on and on, you know. Ron Friends' Spider-Man. A lot of people don't like Ron Friends' art. But to me, Ron Friends, he just had a unique way of doing Spider-Man. That was my Spider-Man artist back in the day. Now, don't get me wrong, John Buscema, John Romita, all those artists, they have their special place too. But woo, that's the only thing I can say. Woo! Alright guys, I've talked long enough and talked about a little bit of everything. This is Bad Adventure. Y'all guys be well. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for subbing. And I'll talk to you the next time. Goodbye.